So basically, I wanted to explain to you before we get into the Buddha what you should know, meaning where are you? And it becomes easy for somebody to understand. So in the Gita-giri Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 70, Buddha explains about 7 kind of people. If somebody wants to open it and keep it, they can do so. Okay. So there are 7 kind of people. And who are these 7 kind of people? If you were to ask, the first 2, Upato Bhaga Vimukti, Panya Vimukti, they already crossed over. So we don't have to talk about them. Makes no sense because they're already done. They're already done and what has to be done. So there's no point and to talk about them. So we have to then talk about the remaining 5. Kaya Sakhi, meaning Kaya Sakshi, body as a witness. Okay. Then we have Dittipato. So Dhammanusari, one who is on Panya, okay, will get into Dittipata, path through wisdom. Then there is Saddha Vimukta, meaning this person only does through Saddha. He can't have any other thing. So we'll go into each one of them. Then we have Dhammanusari and Saddhanusari. So basically, what you need to understand is Anusara. In Pali and Sanskrit, it's Anusarana, following. Right now, you all are following Buddha. And you have an unshakable confidence. Whether you experienced anything jhana or you did not experience any panya so far, you will become sotapanna before death. That's all what Saddhanusari and Dhammanusari would mean. Okay. Let's take an example. Yesterday, I spoke about the Hena Pindupama Sutta. Let's say you tried it, didn't work. You couldn't even understand what it is, but you have faith in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And you have some panya here and there, some wisdom rises. Okay. So you are able to see the dharma or dhamma, the teaching here and there. That's okay. But you are not a sotapanna. But you are on the magga. So you will, that person, whoever that person is, will become a sotapanna at death. Not before that. No matter what he does, it will not work. Okay. Now, in these 2 cases, the Saddhanusari and the Dhammanusari, it might become difficult for them to understand the Pathavi to Nibbana because they have not have any experience either through wisdom or going through the jhana. And the jhana route is Kaya Sakhi. Okay. So when I'm saying that we should establish, get into jhana, I'm trying to make it Kaya Sakhi. Sakhi is Sakshi as in witness. Okay. So let's say, for example, you're not able to do so. but you just have faith in the Buddha. So you might get into Saddha Vimukta only through faith. So out of five faculties, Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya, if Saddha is developed, nothing else is developed. That's okay. Five Indriya, Panch Indriya, and the same Bala, five Bala. So then what happens? If you have only these, you might have limited Satta Bojjhanga, because it includes both. It includes Panya as well as the immersion, which is the jhana. It might not happen. That's okay. But you might get the last one, which is Ariya Tangika Maggo. That you will get. So, Satipatthana might not fully get developed. Sammapadhana might not get really developed. Like that, out of 37 factors. So, you will not be an Arhat. That's what it means in that Kitagiri Sutta, that there is something yet to be done. Okay. That doesn't mean that you are not a Sotapanna or a Sakadagami or Anagami. The problem here is that how we understand it. In the first two cases, Dhammanusari and Saddhanusari, the person is a Sotapatti, Magga, not a Sotapanna. That you should see within yourself. If you are not able to get the wisdom, Ditti is changed as wisdom or Saddha, because you have no idea of immersions, jhana, and neither any knowledge of wisdom, panya. Please understand that it is samatha and vipassana which gives you complete fruit. You just can't do vipassana and forget the samatha. And you can't just do samatha and forget vipassana. Not possible. Some people attempt only vipassana. Investigation. I keep on investigating everything. Yes, that's okay. But Buddha says you have much work to be done. Okay. Any questions? The remaining five of them, the work to be done in the Kitagiri Sutta, if you have seen that. Okay. Now, why does Buddha talk about all of this in the Mula Pariyaya Sutta? Because it's Mula, root. It starts with the root. So, two suttas are the beginning of Buddha Dhamma. One is Brahmajala Sutta, which you should know completely. And another one is Mula Pariyaya Sutta, what we are covering now. We can't take it immediately after I join Buddha Dhamma because I won't understand anything. So after some time, we need to get into that. But having said that, we need to know both of them correctly. Okay. Now let's say I don't see my past lives. That's okay. You don't have to see your past life. You can only go by wisdom. Dittipata. That's your primary panya. So out of the five indriyas, sati has to be developed. Irrespective whether you're going on saddha route or kaya sakhi route or panya route, it doesn't matter. We need to have sati. Sati is the driver. The first two wheels, front wheel, so to say, you can have saddha on one side and virya on the other side. And the back two wheels is samadhi and panya. So here is a deal. If the person is not established in samadhi, he will never get panya. If the person is established in Panya, will never get Samadhi. If the person is putting too much of effort, the vehicle is going to break. So you have to balance all the five indriyas. There's in fact many suttas, and there's one important sutta where Buddha explains about this, and it's there in Yuganda section of Patisambhidda Magga Pali, a discourse or rather a commentary written by Venerable Sariputta. After doing a nice discourse on Sangiti Sutta and Dasuttara Sutta, Buddha requested him to, because he is one of the best teacher, to explain on the concept. So Buddha said, why don't you complete it? So he then explained, starting with the meaning, what is the starting as in root to the ending. Okay, there is Yuganda. And there's a sutta by name Yuganda also. Yuganda Sutta. Okay. Anyway, what it means is we need to balance the five indriyas. So we need to know there are five indriyas, not the eye, ear, nose, tongue. It's a five indriya which we need to have for entering into Buddha Dhamma. So presently, if we are Saddha, that's fine. Don't have to be on Dhamma. But you will not get any insight. Insight is Vipassana. You will not get any insight. If you are Dhammanusari, you will not get any immersion. Meaning, you can't get into jhana. So you have to, those who are on Saddha, they have to develop both immersion and insight. Those who are in Dhamma, they have to develop immersion, but they have insight. They have to have immersion. Not fully, at least something, so that they know it works. Right? Why? Why? Because senses are used to sense contacts. Even though I just have a wisdom, sometimes I get a wisdom that, yeah, this is unreal, wife will die, husband will die, the children will die, house is not real, and etc. It doesn't work that way. So now we have to understand what is intellectual and what is insight. Intellectual is what Mano can pick up. In Mano, you have faculty called Manasikara, which Buddha uses it all the time. So that Manasikara sometimes becomes Yoniso Manasikara, so it can discern. But the problem with that is it cannot retain, because the defilements are there. So sometimes the person feels, wow, I got it. And after that's gone. But he's still on a Sotapatti. He's not Sotapanna. Only at Sotapanna, there's no need to go further. I mean, like can be a Saddhanusari or Dhammanusari. So basically, then this person has to make good amount of effort, virya, to enter into samadhi so that he can get the panya. That doesn't mean that he is not he is not following the precept. So he might go to the monastery or meet a bhante, and he can get the precept. He can be doing uposatha. He might be doing everything. Whatever has been recommended, he will. He also praises the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and then he worships the venerable whoever has come. As somebody has come to Bangalore, and I go and meet that bhante. I take care of his lodgings, everything. Yeah, there is punya which comes to that. But that still attaches to the saddha. But sati is not there. So first I need to develop sati. So that is the reason the first thing is sati patthana, not anything else. So in that, all the three are explained. One kaya, one vedana, one chitta. So one who goes into the jhana requires chitta. One who entering into the panya route will require kaya and vedana. But the point. The cheto vimukti route is this one. And the kaya way of analyzing and not reacting to the sensation or feelings is in kaya and vedana. The kaya vedana is one, chitta is one, and applying the dhamma. So I can become a dhammanusari by that token. So, and then I can develop sammapadhana. Anyone heard about these terms earlier? No? Odiyapakya dhamma.
Yes.
Okay, good. So we need to develop all these 37 in some way, either as a saddhanusari, dhammanusari, saddha vimukto, dhamma, and then dittipato, then kaya sakhi, all the five. This is the first clarification I want to give before we move into the sotapanna, sakadagami, anagami, how they would understand patavi, apo, tejo, vayo, bhuta, like that. Any questions here before we proceed further? Yes, Ashwin.
Saddhanusari and the last two, the Saddhanusari and Dhammanusari in that.
Mhm.
That is a path, correct? And the rest all is a above five is a clear uh, vimukti means it's like till the end. First two is a path, and
First
then
is the path, and then from Saddha Vimukta, Dhitti Vimukta, all that, or Dhitti Patha, like that, it will be for Sakadagami, Anagami, including Sotapanna. So Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami. In the Kaya Sakhi, Kaya Sakhi, it is Anagami. Other two are Arhat. The first two are Arhat. The middle one is Anagami. Okay. The other two, Dittipata Saddha, is Sakadagami, Anagami, and Sotapan.
Means, in simple way, if I try to understand also different way, the Saddhanusari is like having just faith in the Buddha. Dhammanusari is like following the what Buddha is telling about precepts and other things like all
No,
five precepts in
no.
Dhamma. But
No, the precept thing is in the Saddhanusari. If you read Sotapatti Magga Phala Sutta, it's very clearly indicated there. A person will not break any precept, he'll do this, all that is mentioned. No? So, why you should take Dhammanusari to have about precept? Precept is for a person like a child who will go and burn its fingers.
yeah,
So, Dhammanusari person is not somebody like that. He will investigate.
is more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not more than that or less than that. Out of 5 indriyas, just like Saddha is developed in one, in this person, Panya is developed. But he has no other development. Sati is little developed. Virya is developed. So he'll put lot of effort. Saddhanusari also will put lot of effort. But they don't
Yeah.
have ability to be in Samadhi. Because Sati is weaker. In both of them, Sati is weaker. In Saddhanusari and Dhammanusari, the Sati is weaker. The difference here is one is heavily on Saddha, forgetting the Panya. One is only on Panya, forgetting the Saddha. Yes, Bobby.
So without panya, this Shraddha can become blind, right? So if somebody is only developing Shraddha, um, how without wisdom it will develop, because it can turn into blindness.
That's the reason in that sutta, Buddha says he will find one Kalyana Mitra. Hopefully, he finds a Kalyana Mitra, right? In all of that, that's what he says.
Also, he will make sure that he doesn't go blind.
Yes, exactly. Like, let's say I'm a staunch follower of Goenka. Fine, it's good. And if I'm following whatever Goenka is saying in terms of whatever it should be, and I believe that is all what it is, it becomes Saddhanusari. But if he doesn't get the right environment and the right footing or right Kalyana Mitra, and then he might just end up being there. So then what happens? He's reborn as a Saddhanusari only. He won't be Sotapanna. Because he needs to get into the Buddha Dhamma after doing something. So let's say some person who teaches him more than or gets him more, and then he gets it, he becomes a Sotapanna. Like that. So there's nothing wrong if I am following Ajahn Cha as an example. Fine, it's absolutely good. It's a Saddhanusari. I don't want to deviate myself into any other learning. I just want to go what Ajahn Cha says, and that's all what I believe it to be. Or I'm following Ledi Sayadaw. Fine, absolutely fair. There's nothing that can, create a problem. But we need to know that the panya is not there. There's no wisdom. So you will only be on saddha.
So somebody follows, for example, so and so's tradition, some tradition, and he has the opportunity to meditate a lot, and still, because he's only focused on that particular tradition, so he's still a Siddhanusari. Not he can't develop more panya, even though he's doing a lot of meditation.
Exactly.
Because he can be attached to the meditation itself.
Yes, he can be attached to the tradition itself, or whatever the tradition he is following. He believes that is all what it is. But that still works because it is a saddha. See, he's getting wisdom. Let's say I'm sitting and I'm doing Goenka technique or Ubakin technique or Burmese technique. The body is getting into bhanga, and that is sufficient for me. I don't think so. I require anything else. So my wisdom is restricted to only that. It doesn't surpass.
The further progress is very difficult.
Further progress is difficult. So what should happen is that he will take another life, like that. So he will be born as a human on the path of Sotapanna. In that sense, the Burmese tradition says that becoming a Sotapanna is very difficult because it would require a lot of effort for you to get into the Panya side of it also. The Panya, not as in the body sensation. There's something beyond the body sensation, right? So that's what we need to look at. So once I get it, I need to now start developing on the path using the sutta, because that will give me both the dimension. It will give me number one on the saddha, increasing my saddha instead of a person or on a tradition or on a teaching. I'm now going on the Buddha. That makes more sense. And two, it gives me panya. That doesn't mean that I should undermine what I've learned from from a teacher, as in Goenka. It's good, but then I need to develop what Buddha says, because that is where it is. The seven are representative of what Buddha says. In the Kitagiri Sutta, it's very clear how you should develop it, because they are doing somewhere else and they say that why we should not eat in the night and all that questions are there in the beginning. And then that's the reason Buddha explains that even though you are doing like this, why you shouldn't do like that. And then he says all these seven. So I might be following some tradition. I can be following forest tradition. I can be following this tradition, that tradition, hundreds some different views and all that. It's fine. But somewhere I need to come back to the original, the Sutta way. Then only my mind will develop. Otherwise, it will not develop. It will remain wherever it is, believing that that's all what it is. So I need to do that. That doesn't mean that it is wrong. No, it is right. But it will, that person becomes a Saddhanusari for a long period of time. That's just a Saddhanusari. He cannot develop anything further. So he can't become a Sotapanna at death. He will be Saddhanusari again, and again a Saddhanusari, again a Saddhanusari, unless he gets the complete Dhamma. And that's the reason Buddha says, hopefully he gets a Kalyan Mitra.
Where is that he hopefully gets a Kalyana Mitra?
That's there, no, in the same Kitagiri Sutta, if you read it, is there.
Okay.
He says some work has to be done, and then he explains. You want me to open that up so that you don't get these questions? Hold on. See here. Appeva nama ayamayasma asama anulomikani sena sanani pati seva mano kalyana mitte bhajamano indriyani samannayamano. Matlab, meaning it is samyama. He is doing samyama of the indriya.
Oh, thank you, Vilasi. Like I remember reading this many times, but I didn't remember this particular sentence.
No worries. So for all the five, he says the same words. Appeva means I feel so, I wish, or like what rightly put, hopefully. Ayasma, that person. Anulomikani, tenasanani. Anuloma means finding the right place. So finding the right. So senasana is bed. Patisevamano. He joins with the same kind of people. Kalyanamitte. Bhajamano. Bhaja means is to actually worship. Bhajatam is completely worship. So he worships the Kalyan Mitta for what? Indriyani samanya. So he then guards the senses. Clear? So if you are a Saddhanusari, following whichever tradition, today's, whichever tradition it can be, and you get a Kalyan Mitra who can tell you to develop on that what has been done, meaning you already have a foundation. Let's say I'm following Goenka, been doing for 20 years, and I know everything about it. Now I can create on that foundation, I can put this. Then I can become a Sotapanna. Okay. Same thing with Dhammanusari. I have a lot of wisdom on the body sensation. I know this is, I'm just seeing particles and all of that. And I can see Anitya as what Goenka says. Okay. And I'm aware of it. Then he meets a Kalyan Mitra who is helping him on a Dhammanusari. So, Ditti Patho. He'll get into Ditti Patho, and from there, he has to develop the jhanas. Because he's only having the Ditti Patha, he doesn't have this one. Same way, Saddha, Vimukta, whatever is there, he has to learn the Panya. Just this one will not work. And Kaya Sakhi, you become an Anagami through that, but you don't have the Panya. You don't have the ability to cut down the 5 higher fetters. Again, you have to develop it. So, all of them, all the 5 of them have to develop. Yes, Ashwin.
Yeah, now I understand. Sorry, I was not understand earlier. So just to repeat what I understood, everything we have to develop step by step from bottom to top, or at least up to Panya Vimukti. That's very important. We cannot skip any of the step.
Yes.
It was okay. I thought only one has to develop, but not all has to develop. That's important statement.
See that you see this Ditti Patho. It's a person who doesn't have a direct meditative experience of a peaceful liberation that are formless, transcending form. This is most important. You have to get that. Nevertheless, having seen with wisdom some of their defilement, not all defilements have gone. Some of their defilement have come to an end. And they have clearly seen and clearly contemplated with wisdom the teaching and training proclaimed by the realized one. This person is called attained to the view, Dittipato. He has reached the culmination of Panya, but the remaining has not. I say that this mendicant also still have to work to do with diligence. So then you see what words he uses. See? Appeva, Nama, Ayasma, Anulomikani, Denasanani. See? He requires a Kalyan Mitra.
Does that mean that Dittipato, what is his state? He can be Anagami also?
Dittipato is Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami. And in that.
Anagami also needs Kalyanamitta to
absolutely, absolutely beyond doubt. Bobby, I'm struggling. I've still not found, I'm trying to find through the Buddha Dhamma only my Kalyan Mitra. I'm stuck as a anagami right now. I have good knowledge.
But Buddha said in some sutta, I believe, like if you don't find a Kalyana Mitta, you can consider me as a Kalyana Mitta.
That's exactly
practice.
what I did from 2014 onwards. I left Goenka because it was not making sense in terms of his explanation of Pali. So then one day I cried, saying that, boss, you are the only person now. I don't have any Kalyana Mitra.
So is it when Buddha said that, is it that means that when he was alive, so when he is passed away also, the suttas are there, but he's not there to
For
clear your
me,
doubt.
it is sufficient, because what hit me really is yo mam pasati so dhammam pasati. That's all. I don't worry about physical presence of somebody. And since I can get into depth of Pali, I don't feel anything that Buddha is not talking to me. Like I know that you have gone through this, but you have missed on the Kalyana Mitta. The only difference between you and me is that I don't miss.
Yeah, that is amazing. When I noticed that, so I miss so many things even though I read, but you don't miss anything.
Yeah. So like that. So I'm trying to break things. So I have to go into the Panya Vimukta, second one. Then the Ubato Bhaga Vimukta. Or I have to get into Ubato Bhaga Vimukta. Okay, now Kaya Sakhi, like if I can get into 8 jhanas, Kaya Sakhi, there are Atta Vimukha, 8 Vimukha. Vimukha means Vimoksha, which means liberation. Okay, it's a very nice one. 4 are transcending form, Akashan Chayatana, that one. That is a must. Whichever side you do, Bobby, or for this is also for Ashwin and everyone, from wherever you come, whether you come from Saddha route, Panya route, no matter, you have to get 4 formless. You can't say, look, I'm only on this Panya. No, you have to transcend form. That means you have to get into Neva Sanya, Nasanya Ayatana, whether you like it or you dislike it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because for all the 5, you require a Kalyan Mitra. There's no way you can escape it. Saying that, oh, you know what, I don't want to sit and meditate. What is that 5? I couldn't understand, Mrityunjay. The same sutta, MN70.
So even before that, Kaya, something you were telling us, 5 ways, Saddhanusari,
The
Dhammanusari.
same one, it's here only. The same MN70, what I've opened it. There are 7 people.
Okay.
There are 7 people. We are talking about them only. And today's topic is only on them. So basically, what I'm trying to tell is that we require panya, we require jhana. Immersion is as much important as insight. Meaning, samatha is as much important as vipassana. There are 2 wings. You can't put one wing like this and another wing is not there. No, not possible. Just want to give you that thing. Your starting point can be panya, absolutely fair. No doubts. Or your starting point can be saddha, no problem. Always sila samadhi panya. You can't miss samadhi portion and you just go by panya. Not valid argument. Out of 5 indriyas, pancha indriya, you have to balance all the 5. They're in Uganda. You have to balance. You can't make saddha overtake everything. No. You can't take panya overtake everything. You can't take samadhi overtake everything. No. You can't take virya overtaking everything. No. And sati is the forerunner. Sati is actually the one. Sathadipateya. Sabbe dhamma. Adipati. Overlord. Sati. So you start with sati. Sati patthana, sammapadhana, chattaro iddipada, pancha indriya, pancha bala, tatta bujjanga, ariyatangika magga, all taken together, 37, odiya pakkiya dhamma. Okay. You need to develop all the 37. No skipping. No way, you can start from wherever. Absolutely fair. You can, starting point is not important. Culmination is important. Okay. So just want to give you clarity for all the 5. You require a Kalyan Mitra. And for the first 2, Saddhanusari, Dhammanusari, is a Sotapatti only, not Sotapanna. The remaining 3, in that remaining 3, except for Kaya Sakhi, the other 2, Dittipato and Saddha Vimukto, can be a Sotapanna, can be a Sakadagami, can be an Anagami. That Kaya Sakhi is only Anagami. Because he has done Atta Vimukha.
What is Attamivukha?
I was expecting somebody is going to ask me this. So there's one sutta on Atta Vimukha.
No need to explain also because we are far away from that also. Up to you.
There are many suttas. It is there in the Nidana Sutta and Mahaparinibbana Sutta also. Okay. So DN 15, DN 16, and there is Vimokha Sutta. So let me open that up for you. Okay, Rupi Rupani Passati. So you're seeing the internal Rupa and you're seeing external Rupa equaling the same. Like I'm seeing Bobby, I'm seeing myself being the same. I'm seeing Ashwin, I'm seeing Mrutyunjay on the video as the same. No matter female or a male, it doesn't matter. It's just a Rupa. That is the Patama Vimokha. I can tick it. Now the second one. There is no Rupa seen inside, but there is Rupa seen outside as in some celestial beings. Like when I was in the Vipassana retreat in December, after this experience of Kalapa happened, one deity came and he was explaining what I should be doing in this. I'm seeing it. And it also was saying how I should treat my wife and son and how I should develop them and etc. That is the second Vimokha. Okay. The third Vimukha is the realms what I've seen. That's the third Vimukha. Subhanteva. So I know where I'll be reborn at this current state. That's the third vimukha. And then I go infinite space I've experienced, infinite consciousness I've experienced, nothingness I've experienced, neither perception nor not perception. These are the 8 vimukhas.
Very good. It's a very good testing yourself where you are.
Yes.
It's very easy and simple. So Dhamma, that's why it's sometimes easy if you understand it.
Yes.
But is what I understood as you grow, you will understand. Otherwise, you will just imagine if you are not at that stage.
Yes. Mrityunjay, tell me.
Sir, in Mahanidana Sutta also, there is something like stations it is told, and there is another way of telling that. That is what is that question, sir?
No, you should have this Atta Vimukha. It is there in DN15. I have opened up DN15. And also it's there in DN16. So Buddha says this is something one has to experience. Okay. Like Rupam Rupani Passanti, Ayam Patamo Vimokho, Ajattam Arupi, Bahidda Rupani Passati, Ayam Dutiya Vimokho. So inside there is no Rupa and externally you are seeing some divine, and then this we did. Then the remaining. This you should have. Or you should have Patamajana Dutiya Tatiya Chatutta form. The first one become Rupa, Rupe Rupani Passati. That is Patavi Apo Tejo Vayo Akasha. I have seen it. I have known it. And in everyone, I'm seeing it as Patavi Apo Tejo Vayo Akasha. This is one thing. Second thing, I'm in Arupa. Internally Arupa. I don't feel the body. So I've gone so much into immersion that the body disappears, like in the case of when I'm doing Goenkaji Vipassana, then the body disappears, it becomes vibration. And Bahidda Rupa Anipasati. Now I'm seeing celestial beings. Like that one deity coming and talking to me and explaining me what I should do. That's the second one. And then the different realm I've gone is the third one. And the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tabbaso Neva Sanya Na Sanyayatanam Samatikkama Sanya Vedeta Nirodha. This is also I have experienced. This is Atta Vimukha. Still, I am yet to develop the Panya.
So why then it is called liberation? Is it like experiencing the samadhi or the the jhanas?
In the Vimukha means the Cheto Vimukti, the Chitta gets liberated in stages. There's the first stage, the second stage, the third stage, and Sanya Vedeta Nirodha is the last one. But the Panya has not developed.
It's basically jhanas.
Correct. That is the reason Kaya Sakhi, Kaya Sakshi, he has to work out. Now I have to work out on Panya.
Well, let's see, in that case, somebody who's developed jhanas, we talked this many times, like when any people develop jhanas in many other tradition or many other religions also. So how they will come into this category?
They still be in Saddhanusari, simple. Or that's all. Or the Ditti, sorry, Saddha Vimukta. Or Kaya Sakhi.
That's a bit confusing. So is it so? For example, when you develop jhanas, all these liberations, never and everything, he says, if at all he is not developing panya, he can he will be reborn, or if he is reborn in some Brahma realms, right? So then how he will develop panya, because he doesn't have the knowledge of panya at all, right? So or he has some
It's
basic
not
knowledge of
like
Buddha.
that. It's not like that, Bobby. That's the reason I wanted to take this up today. It's not like that. It would be a wrong way of putting it. You see in the Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta, it's very clearly he explains how it should be done. I mean, the difference between the other religion or other way of doing and how the Buddha way of doing. It's very clear on the feeling, because the feeling creates perceptions. So the eighth jhana is a perception, because there is feeling that you have reached there. There's a feeling of reaching there. You have to let go of it. So you have to make it upekha. That's what Buddha teaches. So now you ask me a question that, oh, if we go in that, what would happen? The difference between other tradition and Buddha Dhamma is split up into three parts. When the person is Sotapanna, knows that he is a Sotapanna, his sati is developed. He doesn't have to develop sati again. That means he will not go lower than human realm. That's it. Then he comes to the second part, where samadhi has to be developed, which is atta vimukha. So he has become anagami. So he will not come below that. And the third one is panya, which is arhat. So once a panya is developed, then there's nothing called arhat also. Right? So sila samadhi panya. Sila is sotapanna. Samadhi anagami. Panya is arhat. Now, if I'm holding on to the samadhi, like in my case, I will be reborn in that realm. That's fine. If I say that's fine with me, it's fine, right? I don't have to develop further more panya. Like, as in, it's not about anicca, dukkha, and anatta. That's mandatory for all. The five khandas, in that, the Vedana and Sanya is attached. They are not broken completely because of the jhana. I have Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga. I means anyone who is an anagami. There's mana. And if I don't get into jhana, there's udacha and avijja. All the five are there. See, Bobby, by the same token, in few minutes, it's Allah will start. And the road is filled with crowd and so many vehicles going and all kind of noises. Now there's below, the dog is howling. You are not able to hear that because I have made this microphone not to hear anything. So when I'm recording also, there's no sound. But if you were to sit here, it's not at all peaceful. And yet, I can get into the 8 jhanas. Doesn't matter. As compared to what Ariya could do in America or what you could do in Australia, there's so much of peace. So that I have done. But did I develop panya? I mean panya as in dropping the rupa raga. No. Still the Buddha Dhamma Sangha mana is there with me. That has not gone. That has to be given up. Buddha Dhamma also has to be given up. That I have not done. Then udacha, restlessness. So just like a person gets associated with senses, I get attached to jhana. But that is fair. That's a fair argument, because senses are not really that long lasting than the jhana. So I would take jhana rather than this one. That doesn't mean that I don't have panya at all. I have. But now I have to develop only on panya. That's all what Buddha is saying for kaya sakhi.
Yeah. So my question is, you told that, for Sutapanna, Sakita, Asura, Anagami, everyone, this from the beginning, that Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, that is there. But the Panya, as in the final Panya, is not there when he is going only practicing Shila. So in other religions, they don't have this Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. No, they are only focusing on one object, and they just.
Yes. So what happens here is that the difference between Buddha Dhamma and others is there are two startling differences. Number one startling difference: using a mantra or something, you can suppress your defilements. That's good, but it's so the raga, dvesha, moha exist. The immoral deeds exist, but for that moment, let's say I go to ISKCON. Just take an example, and I sign up for 90 days. Okay. So what happens? I stop eating garlic and onions. That will incite passion. So I've cut off. Very good. Excellent. Then I stay in ISKCON and I get a service mentality. So I want to serve. It's good. Seva, bhava. Very good to develop. Then since I am in ISKCON, my only thing is to worship the deities, as in Radhe Govinda or something, and all that, whatever is there. So Srinivasa, then Narasimha, then this and that, so many things. It's fine, it's good. And I have to eat only once or twice in a day. There's nothing to do. Yeah, Ashwin, see you. So there is nothing to eat whatever I want. No. And every few hours, there is a dance, which makes me literally filled up with that divine thing. So over a period, I developed so much saddha. Okay. Then I get into jhana. Let's say I get into 4 rupa jhana. That's sufficient. I will not be reborn for the next 4 kalpas. Fine. It's much better than being born in the next few weeks. It doesn't matter, right? At present, the way I've developed it, for 4 kalpas, I don't have to come back. Now, I go even more further. I join ISKCON full time. I leave my family and I say, I'm not interested. So I join ISKCON. When I join ISKCON, I'm supposed to be with that, and always I'm devoted to Radhe Govinda. So let us look at this. So there is one nice song on the Prabhupada, who is the founder of ISKCON. Okay. And I start singing, and I would like to inculcate all the qualities what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has, and this Prabhupada has, or if not Prabhupada, I will develop all that what is required from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where I get into Arupa Jhanas, and I get into Nevasanya Nasanya Aitana, Asankheya Kalpa. That's good. Why should I worry about anything else, Bobby? Because Asankheya means infinite. It's as good as done. Whenever it comes back. What's my problem? If I'm reborn as a lizard after some kalpas, fine.
It's not fine, is it? It's fine.
It's fine with me.
No, like, for example, if that is the main difference, right? With
That's the main difference. Yeah, that's the first difference. So what Buddha says, you first remove the 10 immoral deeds, because that is the one will take you to the apaya. So first cut that out. Okay, that's the difference.
Here, when they are developing the faith and with all this dancing and worshipping faith, so they may not be completely perfect in the Shila.
No.
And
No.
even they may not have this basic knowledge of anicca, dukkha, and anatta.
No.
So that's a huge difference. This is a huge difference.
Yes, sir. So what I do is I will start, let's say I join ISKCON Bangalore. One minute. So you know what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do like this. Okay, I sit in ISKCON Bangalore. Okay, and I start singing. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Vodale. Like that, I keep on singing with a harmonium. It will block my defilements. It will also block my immoral deeds. Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine. Like that, I keep on singing. What's the problem? It works. Let's take another example. This you leave it. I don't like this con. Let's take, I join Ramakrishna Ashram. And I follow whatever Ramakrishna says in the Gospels of Ramakrishna. That's fine. That's sufficient. I see, my intention is to go into Arupa Jhanas. Ultimately, each one of us have to get into Arupa Jhana. Simple. Why? Because it is long lasting. If you come to the Buddha, he will teach you how to cut rebirth. That's the difference. So, anicca, dukkha, anatta is to cut the rebirth, and also the sila portion is to make sure that you don't go into the apayas. So, the only reason why I'm following Buddha Dhamma is because of these two reasons. I don't want to be reborn in the apayas. After finishing that, I can come down to the apayas. Because I exist. The chitta exists. It's not cut off. Chuti is happening, but then it will be re-established. Again, chuti happens, again re-established. But in this case, I'm getting re-established in, let's say, in ISKCON. I do this and I become very enlightened of seeing Krishna. So then, what does it do? It will take me to the Arupa Jhanas. It's good. If I go to the 7th jhana, 60,000 kalpas. Excellent. Why shouldn't I do it, Bobby? I don't understand. See, human life is 100 years. One mustard seed is 100 years. Like that, number of mustard seeds in a yojana. Big. It's a mountain of mustard seed. Every 100 years, one mustard seed will fall down. Isn't it making sense that I need to be in the first jhana at death so I can be in the Brahma realm? Yeah, I know it is transient, it is impermanent, all that is fine, I agree. But
if it was permanent, it makes sense, But still, if I at least
you're missing the point. than being a human and spending 100 years, it's better to spend as a Brahma, not even as a Deva.
But since we have this knowledge from Buddha Dhamma that
That's
even after
fine.
this,
No, that's
Yeah.
fine. But let's say I'm not able to do so. So your question is, can a Saddhanusari in that tradition do it? Yes, he can do it. Why that? Even in the Buddha, the followers of Buddhists, they might not have understood Anicca Dukkha Anatta to the level, or they might not even have completed their 10 immoral deeds. Let's say somebody just goes to the monastery, serve the monks and serve the monks. They are Saddhanusari. The same thing, right? What the difference? Unless the person understands for himself the Anicca Dukkha Anatta, unless he has removed the 10 immoral deeds, it's the same. No, there's no difference. The only thing is that I'm coming through Buddha Dhamma and doing the same thing. I'm coming through some other Dhamma and doing the same thing. So 10 immoral is 10 immoral. There's no difference. Correct. So I don't have to be hung up on Buddha Dhamma unless I know the reason why I'm doing so. Number one, 10 immoral deeds. Remove it. Pahana. See, you look at Girimananda Sutta, what he says? Pahana sanya. Utpanne. Kamachanda vitakke. Nadivaseti. Pajahati. Vinodeti. Vyanti karoti. Anabhavam gameti. Right? So that means Kamachanda is removed. Like that, Vihimsa. Like that, Vyapada. Then, Akusala dhamme. Nadivaseti. Pajahati. Vinodeti. Vyanti karoti. Anabhavam gameti. Pahana, cutting off. Hana is to cut. Pahana, pahana, completely cut off. You tell me how many Buddhists do that? Or by that nature, how many people have really read Girimananda Sutta? They might take it
But,
as Parita chanting.
but most of the Buddhists, 99% of the Buddhists, somebody who encountered with the teaching, they always talk about at least impermanence.
No, they
Everything is
talk about impermanence. Have they understood impermanence? His understanding is different than talking. Bobby, you see, on the Uposatta day, people recite Girimananda Sutta. Have anything gone in their head? The first line itself says Anicca Sanya, Rupa Anicca, Vedana Anicca, Sanya Anicca, Sankhara Anicca, Vinyana Anicca. Next says Anatta, Rupa Anatta, Chakku Anatta, Rupa Anatta, Sota Anatta, Saddha Anatta, Ghana Anatta, Gandha Anatta, like that. But have they experienced Anatta by that token? You take any Parita chant, they will have Girimananda Sutta in that. Then Asubha Sanya, Kesa, Loma, Naka, Danta, they recite. Absolutely they recite. Beautifully they recite. Then Adinava Sanya, 49 diseases. Then comes Pahana Sanya. Have I done Pahana of all the four? Then comes Viraga Sanya, Nirodha Sanya, Sabbe Loke, Anabharita Sanya, Sabba Sankharesu, Anicca Sanya, Anapana Sati. Done? All the 10. So how does it matter? Is my question. You're still a Saddhanusari. See the difference. ISKCON versus this. That is also Saddhanusari. This guy is also Saddhanusari. He will be reborn as Saddhanusari. What else will happen?
I think there is a tiny bit of difference is there because
No, Bobby. No.
Let me complete.
Yes.
Siddha in somewhat Buddha's teaching, there it is it doesn't have any kind of cease. When somebody is saying like in having faith in Buddha or Buddha's teaching, he might have heard little bit of Buddha's teaching, but here the other place, maybe this.
No, why? See, you look at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to be honest, if you understand his teaching, it's straightforward. It's bhakti and surrender. That's it. Why should I worry? See, I am saying Buddha will take care. Same thing he says Krishna will take care. What's my problem?
Here, as far as I gone anywhere, always anybody whom I come in contact with, some relevant teachers or anyway, they always say Buddha will not take care. No?
Right. That is valid, 100% right, provided I understand why. Why? Because I have to remove 10 immoral deeds myself. Buddha will not going to remove my 10 immoral deeds. And I have to understand anicca, dukkha, anatta for myself. Buddha will not make me to understand that. Buddha will give me methods to understand it, but Buddha cannot come and do that. So it's more practical oriented.
Yeah, that is huge difference. But the other places,
No,
they always
I'm
say
not talking about
Krishna will
different.
take care
No,
or
no,
Jesus will take care.
Bobby, the thing is like this. As far as Saddhanusari goes, without understanding, I'm just blindly following. It doesn't matter whether I'm following the Buddha or Krishna or Jesus or whoever. It is all the same. Because what would eventually happen to me as a Saddha person, I'll get rebirth in a higher realm. This makes sense. This path is not for all, right? This path, especially Buddha's path, is for extinguishment. Nirodha. Completely gone. There's nothing left. Beautiful. That's how it should be. I'm not promoting other. I'm just giving you a comparison that where's the difference. So in other traditions, can be anything. There is no perfect statement to say why we should remove 10 immoral deeds. And there's no mention also of 10 immoral deeds. Forget about removing the 10 immoral deeds. Right? So what I can do, like I was singing, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. Keep on doing that. Take a harmonium, sing. I can keep on singing about Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Fine. It works. If I do it for 108 times, it works. It works wonders. You'll get into the first jhana, Savitaka Savichara. You get piti, sukha, ekagata. Then you see the sun or a huge light, Akashan Chaitana, Vinyanan Chaitana, Akinchayatana, Neva Sanyanaya Sanyayatana. Why? You can do it. And I die in the third Arupa Jhana. Well, 40,000 eons. Done. 40,000 eons is not a small one, Bobby. A huge number. Yeah, there is rebirth. I can be reborn anywhere. Okay. But now I have done it, right? It's all about now. Again, don't misunderstand. People on the call shouldn't misunderstand. I'm trying to promote other thing, but you should know where it stands. If I'm a normal worldling, I would rather go to ISKCON or anything because it's more easy. Because all of this can be attained. All the 24 can be attained. Please understand. Today, if I quit job and I join ISKCON, maybe in next 5 years, I should have attained all of that. I leave my family and go there. And very near to my home, 2.5 kilometers, I'm in ISKCON. All that I need to do is Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. Like that, I keep on singing. Krishna Krishna Ya Odale. I'll get it. Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyati Deshatari. It is about Paschyata Desha. You go to the Western world and teach them. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Right? I can do that, Bobby. It's the most easiest, fascinating thing to do. Don't have to struggle so much. But there's a danger. Danger is in rebirth in the apayas. But whenever it happens, it happens.
So also, this people who are following this, they don't know that there is this danger, right? They think that is eternal.
They think Krishna will take care.
After reborn there.
Just like Jesus will take care, right? If I'm an
Yeah.
adept Catholic, Jesus will take care. Why I should worry? If I'm a adept Muslim and I've gone to Mecca all the time, Muhammad will take care. It is his problem. It's not my problem, right? I'm devoted to Muhammad. I'm devoted to Jesus. I'm devoted to Krishna. I'm devoted to Rama. I'm devoted to so and so. They will take care. Why I should be bothered? What Buddha says, it's your botheration, it's your karma. So, 10 immoral deeds removal is unique to, in any tradition, you will not find this. Any religion, you will not find it. They will suppress it. There's no removal. That's a beautiful difference. I might become a devotee of Jesus, but I'll be doing whatever I'm doing, but I'm devoted to Jesus, right? That's only devotion. But immoral deed is immoral deed. And I don't know how to do it also. I don't know how to remove it. I'm stuck. That's not there in the Buddha. So Sotapanna is because you're not gone down. You're not going to go down. The Sila is established, done. The Sotapanna means the Sila need not be established. You will never do any Sila Bhanga. Done. Then comes the second one, Samadhi. At Anagami, Samadhi is completely attained. You can just go into Rupa Jhana like this, Arupa Jhana like this. What took for an ISKCON person or some other person keeping on reciting, there's no recitation. There's nothing required. You can just sit in even a crowded street and just get into it. Beautiful. Samadhi is over. Then the third part, Panya. And hence, Anagami has to work out only on Panya. He doesn't have to work out on Sila, on Samadhi. That's the difference between an Ariya. D is to cut, is to circle. This is consciousness circles back. So if I keep on reciting Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare like that, it circles back after that is over. Whereas in the Buddha, there's no circling back. And that makes me a strong Dhammanusari, Saddhanusari. So now my foundation is strong. Nobody can shake it. So what I did, Saddhanusari, Dhammanusari, Dittipato, right? Now I come to Kai Sakhi. So Saddha Vimukto, Dittipato, Kai Sakhi. Now I have to develop Panya Vimukta. Don't have to do anything more. Or you come from both directions. Upato Bhaga Vimukta. So that's basically it. Any questions from anyone? It seems like I'm only talking to Bobby. Others seem to have understood everything. At least initially, Mrityunjay was asking something. Now he's also gone. So, Bobby, you see in our group, everybody is a Vimukta. No questions means Vimukta. They have done. Okay, since we all have Vimuktas with us, I think I'll end it. Almost 10. Thank you. Good day. Good night.